Good afternoon, Texans. Today is October 7th, 2013, and you are watching the Texan Sports Minute with this sports fanatic, Trevor Peele. This weekend was action-packed with sports, and more sports. Some of the biggest topics include number 22 Texans move to 4-0, Texan volleyball, MLB playoffs, and Dallas Cowboys shootout. According to TarletonSports.com, Texan football defeated Eastern New Mexico Greyhounds 34-14. Texans are 4-0 on the season and 3-0 in the Lone Star Conference. Jake Finsky had a season-high 27 completions and tallied a career-high 50 passing attempts in the contest as well. Jenkin Fry tied a career-high on Saturday as he pulled in 2 touchdown passes from Finsky and tallied 57 receiving yards. Andre Plata led the Texans with 70 yards receiving, while Clifton Rhodes III caught a game-high 7 catches for 68 yards and a touchdown. Texans defense forced 4 first-half turnovers, and the offense managed to rack up 398 yards of total offense on the day. The Texans have now outscored its opponents 73-41 in the first half in the first 4 games of the season. The Texans were 7 of 15 on third down conversions, just 1 week after Eastern New Mexico did not give up a third down conversion to Incarnate Word. The Greyhounds converted just 6 of its 19 third down plays, but were 2 of 3 on fourth downs. The Texans opened the season with 4 straight wins away from Tarleton Memorial Stadium for the first time in school history and extends its win streak to 7 straight games dating back to last season. Tarleton has also won 7 straight road contests dating back to last season as well. Saturday's win now sets up a highly anticipated matchup with number 4 ranked West Texas A&M next Saturday in Stephenville. The Buffs, who won 72-0 over Central State on Saturday, are 5-0 on the season and 2-0 in LSC play. The Texans and Buffs are scheduled to kick off at 7 p.m. next Saturday at Tarleton Memorial Stadium. With the win, Texan football moved up 1 spot and is tied at number 21 in this week's American Football Coaches Association Top 25 poll. According to a release from the AFCA, this marks the first time that the Texans and Buffs will face each other as top 25 teams since 2008, when the Texans were ranked number 19 at the time and the Buffs number 9. Texan volleyball snapped its 2-game losing streak at home Saturday as they swept Eastern New Mexico to improve to 9-6 on the season and 3-1 in Lone Star Conference action. Caitlin White led the team in kills with 12, while Stacy Murrah added 11. Jasmine Green and Meg Umble each had 9 kills, while Jasmine Brown added 8 of her own. Tarleton hit a season high of 360 for the match. Danielle Barker was the team's assist leader with 44, just missing out on a double-double with 9 digs. Emily Klein was a team dig leader with 18. Tarleton has now won 12 straight meetings against the Eyes. Over that stretch, the Texans have had 5 sweeps and never taken a match to 5 sets. Tarleton will return to action in San Angelo next Saturday when they visit the Ramblers. Tarleton tennis dominated the 4th annual Doc Skogman Invitational Tournament at Texan Lutheran University over the weekend. With the first 5-place finishes of the 7 brackets, head coach Lance Drake said, "I was pleased in the fact that we were in the finals of 6 of the 7 events we entered. We worked on some new double combinations, and to their credit, it worked. And, well, we took home a pair of double titles." In Flight A of singles action, Alicia Perez seized control from the get-go by cruising to wins over Texan Permian Basin and Dallas Baptist before facing Texas Lutheran's Sophia Vega in the finals. Also bringing home first-place titles in their respective flights were Sylvia Neva in Flight C, Mackenzie Mitchell in Flight D. A freshman took center stage in Flight B, but came up short just of bringing home a 6th first-place finish for Tarleton. In doubles play, Perez and Mitchell paired up in a Flight A to bring home a title, while Neva and Luzia Adas were the Flight B champions. Perez and Mitchell battled in the championship with St. Mary and came out with a 9-7 win, while Neva and Adas had a slightly easier time with an 8-5 victory. Tarleton will continue to look for fall tournaments throughout the rest of the semester. The next possible destination could send the Texans to the Collin County Invitational on October 11th through the 12th. The Texas Rangers are out of the playoffs, but if you're a baseball fan, today is the day to have your TV set. All 4 baseball games will be in play today. In the American League Division, the Oakland A's are in Detroit taking on the Tigers. That series is tied up at 1 game apiece. The other matchup in the ALDS is the Boston Red Sox, who are 2 games up on the Tampa Bay Rays. In the National League Division, they are starting Game 4s. The St. Louis Cardinals travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates. The Pirates are currently leading 2-1. Capping off the night, Atlanta Braves are taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers, who are also up 2-1. The Dallas Cowboys had a crazy shootout yesterday against the Denver Broncos. Tony Romo threw for 506 yards and 5 touchdowns. The sad thing is that he played so well for 57 minutes, had the ball in his hands with the game tied, and threw a brutal interception. It was the exact same thing that happened in the season finale last year against the Washington Redskins that would have been a playoff berth. Peyton Manning, who was on the other side of the ball, threw for 414 yards and 4 touchdowns. Manning has also not thrown an interception all season long. With the 51-48 victory, the Broncos have won 16 straight regular season games. The teams combined for 1,039 yards, 58 first downs, and only 1 punt. Denver at one point scored on 6 consecutive drives, while the Cowboys opened the second half scoring 4 straight touchdowns. It could have been a special win for the Cowboys, but instead it turned out to be a heart-wrenching loss. Cowboys are just 24-29 since the start of the 2010 season. Nothing has really changed for the Cowboys, so they continue to be mediocre. 130 wins to 131 losses since the 1997 season, a mere 3 decades. The team continues to find creative ways to lose, while good teams like the Broncos find creative ways to win. While the Cowboys drop to 2-3, the Broncos stay perfect at 5-0. Speaking of perfect teams, 3 remain after this weekend: New Orleans Saints, Kansas City Chiefs, and the Denver Broncos. The Chiefs lead the league in fewest points allowed. The Broncos lead the league in points scored, yards, and passing yards. And the Saints have the second best offense in the league. The Chiefs rallied from a 13-0 deficit going into halftime to beat the Tennessee Titans. The Saints haven't lost since head coach Sean Payton has been back with the team, and Denver forces every team to play catch-up. The Saints will have a tough matchup next week as they take on the New England Patriots, who lost their first game of the season this weekend to the Cincinnati Bengals. Even though it looks like the Broncos and Chiefs have an easy schedule coming up, if they remain unbeaten come Week 8, they will face each other. That's all the sports I have for you. Thank you for joining me today on the Texan Sports Minute, where it's always about sports and all you need to know. This has been a product of the Texan News Service. You can read up on your sports or news at texannews.net or follow sports on Twitter at Texan News Sports. Special thanks to Alyssa Wynn for producing today. Have a wonderful day, Texans, and don't forget to bleed purple.